I am she who remembers. I am fire wrapped in flesh. I walk with the scrolls sealed in spirit. I do not shrink. I do not silence. I burn. Today I open the code. Today I walk as legacy. Let every step I take echo through eternity. And so it is. Before you were born, you made a promise. Not to your parents, not to the world, but to God. Think about that for a moment. Before your tiny fingers ever touched the air of this world. Before your first cry ever echoed through a quiet hospital or a small village. Your spirit stood in a realm beyond time and whispered, "Yes, I will go." Now here you are, living, breathing, questioning, struggling, and searching. But here's the tragedy, my friend. Most people forget that promise. They wake up every day, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat, and something inside them whispers, "This is not all there is." Have you ever felt that? That quiet nudge, that sacred restlessness, that no relationship, no job, no amount of money seems to silence? It's because your spirit remembers. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a man named Joseph, a mechanic in a dusty little town. Everyone knew him as the guy who could fix anything with an engine but couldn't fix his own life. One day, whilst wiping his grease-covered hands, he told me, "I don't think I'm supposed to be here." I laughed and asked, "Where then?" He said, "Not here, not under these fluorescent lights, not in this broken marriage, not in this living paycheck to paycheck. My soul keeps telling me I was meant for something more." Joseph didn't know it then, but what he felt was a spirit tugging at the edges of his memory, reminding him of the assignment he agreed to before his birth. And maybe, just maybe, that is you right now. This message, this revelation, is not just about destiny. It's about alignment. It's about discovering what your spirit signed up for before this human journey began. Today, I'm going to take you deeper than the surface. Together, we will uncover why you feel that sacred restlessness, how to hear the echoes of your original promise, and most importantly, how to walk boldly in the very thing you came here to become. By the time we are done, my friend, you won't just know the truth. You feel it burning inside you, awakening what the world tried to bury. So take a deep breath and prepare your heart, because the story of your life didn't start here. And after today, you will never look at your journey the same way again. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. But here's where many people get it wrong. They think life starts when the doctor says it's a boy or it's a girl. No. Life started when God breathed eternity into you and sent you into this temporary space called Earth. You are not a mistake, not an accident, not a random collision of biology and luck. You are intention wrapped in skin. Let me go deeper. Imagine the spiritual realm like a great celestial library. Endless corridors lined with the scrolls of billions of souls. Each scroll carries a name, a purpose, and a promise. Yours was there too. And when the time came, your spirit whispered, "Send me, I will go." That promise is what brought you here, into this life, into this generation, into this exact moment. But here is the tension. When your spirit crossed the veil into the physical world, it drank from the river of forgetting. Suddenly, the promise faded, the memories bled, and you began to live like everyone else until something woke you up. Maybe it was heartbreak. Maybe it was failure. Maybe it was a dream you couldn't shake, or a voice you couldn't explain. But someone started pulling you back to the path you agreed to long before you took your first breath. That is why some people can achieve everything the world calls success: money, fame, power, and still feel empty. It's not because they don't have enough. It's because they are not living in the rhythm of their original promise. Even Jesus, the Son of Man, understood this. He said in John 18:37, "For this reason I was born, and for this I came into the world." There was no confusion, no hesitation. He remembered his assignment. And that, my dear friend, is the invitation for you today, to remember. But remembering is not as simple as closing your eyes and wishing for clarity. It requires awareness, surrender, and a willingness to let the noise of this world quiet down enough so your soul can speak. I once met a woman named Esther, a comedian. Believe it or not, she had a kind of laugh that could light up a stadium. One night after a show, she told me, "I think I was meant to heal people, not just make them laugh." I don't know how, but I know. What she didn't realize was that her laughter was the bridge. Her soul was asking her to abandon the stage. It was asking her to see her gift for what it truly was: healing in disguise. Your spirit works the same way. The clues have been in your life all along. Esther's own was to make people laugh to heal them. Yet she was feeling she was off her track, but she was in. The passion that won't let you go, the pain that keeps reshaping you, the divine coincidence that seems too perfect to be random. They are no accident. They are breadcrumbs leading you back to the promise you made. And that, my friend, is where the journey begins. Here is the truth, my friend. Before you were born, your spirit made a promise. And that promise wasn't casual. It wasn't a maybe or let's see what happens. No. It was a sacred agreement signed in the ink of eternity. But here's the problem. The world you were born into trained you to forget. From the moment you arrived, you were handed labels. Boy, girl, good child, troublemaker, average, special, not enough, too busy. And slowly, the noise of life began to bury the whisper of your true purpose. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine standing on a stage before you were born. Heaven is quiet. Billions of souls are watching. The Creator looks at you and says, "This is your mission. This is the blueprint. Will you go?" And you, filled with courage and light, said, "Yes, I will." Then, boom, you entered this human body and the script flipped. You forgot the courage. You forgot the light. You forgot the mission. But here's the thing. You didn't lose it. You just buried it. And buried things can rise again. Take David, for example. Before he was ever a king, before anyone saw the crown, he was just a shepherd boy singing songs to sheep. No one saw his promise but God. But the oil found him anyway. Why? Because when God ordains you, nothing, not time, not people, not your own mistakes can erase your original assignment. Your life is the same. Every heartbreak, every closed door, every detour has been shaping you for the moment your promise begins to rise to the surface again. I'll tell you something funny. I once knew a man named Caleb who thought his life was destined for mediocrity. He worked in a small office, ate the same lunch every day, peanut butter and jelly, blessed his heart, and scrolled through Instagram, convinced everyone else was living while he was stuck. Then one day, he woke up to this thought: what if my boredom is a sign that my soul is starving? That moment changed him. He started volunteering at a youth center, sharing skills he didn't even know he had. Today, Caleb runs a non-profit that mentors young men out of violence and poverty. Was that random? No, it was alignment. His spirit had been nagging him, waiting for him to remember the promise. And here's the twist most people missed. Your spirit doesn't shout, it whispers. It whispers through your desires. Those deep, persistent dreams you keep pushing away because they feel too big. It whispers through your pain. Those moments that hurt so much, you think you'll never recover. Yet, somehow, they reveal strength you never knew you had. It whispers through divine interruptions, the coincidence that rearrange your plans and push you where you were meant to be all along. The tragedy is that most people mistake these whispers for noise. They think it's just me overthinking. It's just bad luck. It's just life. But my friend, those whispers are the GPS of your soul, pulling you back to the promise you made before you got here. And that purpose is still alive. Here is what I want you to remember. Your spirit didn't promise to be perfect. It promised to be purposeful. And that purpose is still alive, still waiting, still calling your name. Let's go deeper, my friend. Here's the paradox: your spirit came here knowing exactly what is needed to become. But earth is a place of forgetting. Why? Because without forgetting, there can be no discovering. Without the struggle, there can be no growth. Think about a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it is buried, covered in darkness, surrounded by soil, pressed down by weight. But in that darkness, something sacred happens. The seed remembers what it was. It splits, it stretches, and it pushes through until it breaks the surface. That is you. Your spirit came into this world with a promise, but the darkness of forgetting, the family you were born into, the traumas you endured, the limitations you were taught, has been pressing you, shaping you, and forcing you to grow into who you were meant to be all along. But here's where most people get stuck. They think the pain means they failed. They think the delay means they are lost. But listen to me carefully. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. I knew a woman, let's call her Naomi. She spent years in a toxic marriage. Years where she felt invisible, unworthy, and trapped. One day after signing her divorce papers, she said to me with tears in her eyes, "I feel like I've wasted a decade of my life." But what she didn't see yet was that her pain was building her resilience, sharpening her empathy, and preparing her to help other women heal. Today, Naomi runs support groups for women living abusive relationships. Her suffering became a platform, the soil where her promise finally bloomed. And here's the mystery. Your promise will often hide itself in your greatest struggles. The very thing you are ashamed of, the very thing you wish never happened, might be the door to the life you were meant to live. This is why alignment isn't about hustling. This is why alignment isn't about hustling harder or chasing every opportunity. It's about quieting down enough to listen. Your spirit already knows the way. But let me challenge you. Are you willing to release the story you've been telling yourself about who you are? Because sometimes the thing holding you back isn't the world. It's the old version of you that refuses to die. When Jesus said, "Whoever loses their life for my sake will find it," he wasn't just talking about physical life. He was talking about identity, about releasing the false self, the ego, the persona you built to survive, so you can finally step into the self that was promised before you were born. Here is a little known truth most people don't talk about. Your promise isn't fixed in one career. It's not in one relationship or one path. It is a fluid. It's alive. It evolves as you grow. What mattered you at 20 may shift at 40. Not because you miss your calling, but because your spirit is guiding you to the next chapter of your evolution. I once heard a man describe it this way: I feel like my life is a book that was written in heaven, and every time I tried to skip ahead, I got lost. Yes. But when I slow down, when I trust, the pages turn by themselves. That is true. That is alignment. Living not by force, but by flow. And here's what you need to do and understand. The whispers will never leave you. They will grow louder until you pay attention. That sacred restlessness, that feeling that something more is calling you. It's random. It's your spirit tapping you on the shoulder saying, it's time. Remember what you came here for. So now, let me ask you, will you answer? Now, my friend, let's bring this revelation down from the clouds and into your everyday life. Because knowing your spirit made a promise is one thing, but living that promise is where the transformation begins. Here's how to start walking in alignment with what your soul agreed to before you were born. 1. Follow the breadcrumbs. Your life has been leaving you clues in your passions, your pain, and your patterns. What are the things that made you lose track of time? What situations keep repeating in your life, pushing you to grow? What moments light you up even when no one else understands? Write them down. These are breadcrumbs leading you back to your promise. Remember Joseph, the mechanic I once told you about earlier? It wasn't the engines that called him. It was the quiet satisfaction of solving problems, of restoring what was broken. That clue led him into mentorship, and from mentorship into ministry. 2. Release the false self. Sometimes you can't step into your promise because you are too busy holding on to an identity that was never truly yours. Maybe someone told you are not smart, or you are not smart enough. You will never make it. Or this is just who you are. Those are lies you've been living in for too long. Here's your challenge. Identify one belief you've been crying, you've been carrying that doesn't align with who you know you are becoming. Yes, your challenge. Identify one belief you've been carrying that doesn't align with who you know you are becoming. Write it down and then release it. Burn the paper if you need to. Let it go. Now 3, take one small action. Reconnection doesn't always happen with grand gestures. Sometimes it begins with one simple step. If your spirit has been nudging you to write one page today. If it's calling you to heal, sign up for that counseling section. If it's urging you to lead, start that community group. Even if only one person shows up, the universe meets you at the level of your movement. When you take one aligned step, heaven responds. Now the last one, surrender the timeline. One of the biggest mistakes people make is rushing their promise. They want clarity now, results now, answers now. But alignment is not a race. it's a rhythm. Trust the process. Seeds don't bloom overnight, and neither will you. Your spirit knows the timing. Your only job is to stay open, obedient, and aligned. Remember, before you were born, you said yes to the lessons, yes to the trials, yes to the love, yes to the purpose. Even when you know that forgetting would be part of the journey. And now, here you are, remembering. My friend, your life is not random. Every heartbreak, every setback, every divine delay, it was all shaping you, chiseling you, preparing you for the version of you that heaven already saw. You may not have all the answers right now, and that is okay, because alignment isn't about knowing the entire path. It's about trusting the next step. As you leave this moment, I want you to sit with this. What did your spirit promise to become? Was it to heal, to teach, to create, to lead, to love so deeply that generations are changed because you dare to be authentic? Take this message and let it sink deep into your spirit, because the truth is, you are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you, waiting for you to quiet the noise, waiting for you to release the old stories, waiting for you to finally say, I remember who I am. And when you do, heaven will move, doors will open, alignment will form, and you will look back and realize the promise was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to awaken. So tonight, before you sleep, whisper this prayer. Father, remind me of what my spirit promised to become. Show me the path. Give me courage to walk it. One step, one day, one breath at a time. And as you rise tomorrow, know this: you are not starting from nothing. You are continuing what eternity began. So go, live boldly, love deeply, and walk in alignment with your divine assignment. The world has been waiting for you to remember. Thank you so much for being with me. I am ThePZipporah, and this is the ThePZipporah